Building 341, DJ Rubber Band and Caddy B. This is part three of the interview we did with Pastor Vince Haney. I hope you guys enjoyed part one and part two. This part is kind of the last part, and it kind of lets you know where he's at and where he's built up to. And reason why we kind of do these is that we encourage you guys to listen to all three and that they are separate. And this is a great one. We want you to comment, subscribe,
do all of that.
like, holler at your people, and let us know how you feel. Let us know that you did, if you liked it or you didn't like it. Like, talk to us. Say, yeah, I don't know, yeah. And it shows full circle of Pastor Vince Haney.
Yeah, let us know if you learned something too from it.
Come to Chico, go to his church.
There's some gems in there.
Yeah, there's some
things,
gems in there.
Financially and spiritually.
Yeah, exactly. So shout out Pastor Vince Haney. This is part three. Like, subscribe, and leave comments. Leave comments, because we gonna show him too. He gonna see the comments. All right.
Yeah, we tag him too, so you can go follow him on all his stuff.
Yeah. Peace out.
So tell me about what happened in court.
Okay, here's what happened in court. I get up there, the judge read off all these charges. I'm standing, my attorney's right here. I'm right here. The prosecutor's right there. The judge is up there. The judge reads off all the charges. When he's done, the DA, the district attorney, stands up and he says, Your Honor, the state of California would like to dismiss this case for lack of evidence. That's what he said. The state of California would like to dismiss this case for lack of evidence. The judge hurried up and case dismissed. I walked out of there. And now my attorney want to take all the credit. He said, Vince, don't it feel good to be a winner? I said, yes, it is. Then he said another thing. He said, now I'm going to work on getting all your stuff back. He didn't have nothing to do with it. It was what I believe, what I was willing to say in front of everybody, make myself look like a fool, because I looked like I was guilty. I know I sold drugs. The judge, he probably was on my team. I don't know.
No, they just didn't, and they didn't have enough evidence, and yeah. Right.
He's sovereign. Sovereign means you can't stop what he's going to do. Rubber, I don't care how much you try, you can't stop tomorrow from happening.
Yeah.
You can't stop the sun from going down. You might want it. You can't stop it. That's sovereign. And they couldn't stop me. And still today, I tell them now, I still got that same confidence. You can't stop
no,
what
you do.
God has for me. You can't stop it.
You one of them mustard seed brothers. You know, you one of them. You one of them mustard seed brothers.
That's the story. And I convince people every Sunday, have faith in God. That's all I do. Have faith in God, because he's real. He'll do, and he ain't tripping on your mistakes. We all
now let me say this just to interrupt you. So Caddy gonna step out, he gonna try to come back, but we gonna finish in case something happen. You want to say anything before you leave, Caddy?
Tomorrow.
Did he teach you something, Caddy? Did you learn a lot? Did you learn a lot from the teacher? Did you learn, Caddy?
Well, that's my story. What happened? Caddy, are you you still in Chico?
Yeah, we drive by and pass each other all the time. I pass you all the time.
Stop by, man. Stop by. That's
you in the drop top Lexus.
No, I'm in the drop top Benz.
Look at him. Look
you in the Benz now?
Look at him.
My wife had the drop top Lexus. So like I'm saying, ain't nothing never stopped, and God don't mind you having a nice thing. I still got a drop top Benz. I got a Jag. You got a Range Rover. Couple other Mercedes Benzes. She got a CLS 550. I got an ML 500. So it don't a limo, Chrysler Stretch limo. It's not about God wants to bless you and knock your socks off with stuff, but He still wants you to acknowledge that He's real, that He cares for you. That's what I got. All that thing, God, you care about me. And I look back all these years of my life. You've been watching over me. You kept me from shooting somebody. Kept me out of prison. There was times I was in car accidents. I should have been dead. There was times in Chicago I got shot at. I felt the bullet hit my back. When I took off my orange leather jacket, I saw the hole in there. Well, that's what happened. You know what? We do stuff, brother. We can reflect on our life, decisions we made. You too. We all got them, man.
Give me this. So we started from the beginning. We went to the middle, couple middles. We went to that part where you was in the Chico jail and all that. And during this journey, like we just went through this little part, we joked a little bit, but now we're at a stage to where you're older, you're more mature, you're on a different path. God is talking to you more and more. What made you say, I'm gonna take this leap of faith and now I want to be, because I remember you start going to neighborhood church.
Well, you know what? One of my spiritual mentors and teachers, from the time I touched down in LA, I would turn on television. And this is something I had never saw before. Remember, I only spent my last year of high school in LA. But I
Right.
would turn on television. Wasn't no cable, wasn't no internet, none of that. You got the three major networks back in the
Right.
late 80s, early 70s. So, but
Right.
what really, I think God had set me up for that also. 'Cause I remember just turning the channels in LA and I seen this guy on TV teaching and preaching, Fred Price. I
Right.
would see
Yeah.
this guy not sweating, not hooping and hollering, and that just really just made an impression on me. I don't know if I
Right.
sat and listened to him, but he was dressed nicely. That's how, and he was just walking around.
That was your style. Yeah, that was your. I'm gonna tell you my Fred Price story. I'm gonna let you keep going, but I'm gonna tell you my Fred
But
Price story before you transition.
that always just stuck somewhere inside of me. So fast
Right.
forward, when I went to Lassen College, I believe I saw him near also on the broadcast, and I was like, "That's the guy from LA." Then fast forward, Chico, I would see him on TV. I'm like, "That's the same guy from LA."
Right.
So after that incident happened with me, when we moved on Larch, January, February, we moved in January, probably February, March, April, around that time. I'm watching TV. He would come on all the time. But now we got Dish Network, we got Direct TV, so we getting all the channels. So when we got the Word Network. So I would see him, and that's the same guy. So I'm listening to him every Sunday while Keisha at church. I'm just listening to him on TV. I'm figuring, hey, that's my church right there. I know this cat. Seemed like he been just following me around all my life. So I'm watching him, and I notice he's using the Bible. He's teaching right out the Bible. He ain't preaching, he's teaching it. And he's showing the scriptures, and I'm following him with him because I got a Bible now. I'm like, okay. And I remember him getting right up to the camera, real close. He said, all of you guys out there in television land who watch me faithfully, he said, that's cool. I'm not knocking that. But if there's a church in your local community, you need to start attending that church in your local community. It's okay to draw from this ministry if there is none. You live in a remote area. But if there's one in your local community, you need to start going. So with that said, I started making guest appearances with Keisha at the Coleman's church.
Right.
That's when I started, because my mentor, somebody I had confidence in, and I knew was integral, and I saw his life and what God was doing in my life, he gave me an instruction, and I moved forward on it.
Right.
I just started going. And I would go to Sunday school, because I just wanted to learn. I didn't want to go for the hooping and the hollering. I had been to those things, but so I would go to Sunday school, and I would jet out right after Sunday school, because I'm trying to miss regular service. I would leave an offering because I was still in the game. I had money. I would leave an offering. And in Sunday school, here's another thing in part of my heart. In Sunday school, Sister Coleman used to teach the Sunday school classes. And she didn't have enough books for everybody. So they would take the pages out and Xerox copy them for everybody to have a copy of the teaching. A lot of people in there, and they didn't have enough books. So my heart, I said, I gave her an offering, go get some books for everybody. So we ain't making copies. So that was my desire, that everybody would have their own Bible, Sunday school book with all the lessons in it.
Right.
But I still got those teachings from those papers. I still got them. So I started going to Bible study, but then after I would go to service every now and then. I'd make a guest appearance in service. But Bible study, I was every Sunday, a Sunday school. I was there every Sunday, and I'd jet out. Something happened at the ministry where they dissed Keisha, and we had a meeting with the pastors, and they said, well, if you don't like the way we do things around here, y'all can just leave. That's how the meeting ended. And I grabbed Keisha by the hand and said, well, we out of here. That's how we end up in neighborhood church. The next Sunday, that whole week, we was looking for a new church. Here's God again. we're in the yellow pages looking for a church. As we're letting our fingers do the walking through the yellow pages, the phone,
Right.
it was Ed Rogers, Aaron's dad, Aaron Rodgers' dad, before Aaron became a superstar.
Right.
Tyree was on his basketball team, Ed Rogers. He called us just because Tyree was on his basketball team. I'm pretty sure
Right.
the Lord put it on his heart to call us, because as we were sitting in the living room with the yellow pages, the phone rang. Like when I was looking for that job in Compton, and the phone rang. So the phone rang, I picked it up. I'm thinking he wanted to talk to Tyree like he usually do. He'll never want to talk to me. I'm not on his team. Tyree's a star player. He would always call and want to talk to Tyree.
Right.
I said, hold on, Ed, I'll get Tyree for you. He said, no. I want to talk to you. I said, what's up? He said, well, I wanted to invite you and your family to be our special guests tomorrow at our church service. We got the phone book in our hand, and me and Keisha look at each other because he on speaker. Special guest at your church tomorrow? Yeah. He said, we go to neighborhood church. I said, I know what it says. He said, well, I said, yeah, we'll come, because we knew it was God setting us up again. And he said, well, it's a big church. Our family will meet your family outside in the parking lot. So we did that. Then we had a good time. People was embracing us. It was a good, we went the next Sunday. We went the next Sunday for 9 years, every Sunday. For 9 years.
See, I thought Stacy brother was the one, because I know you would go.
Well, we started inviting more black people there.
Oh,
we didn't want to invite Stacy and Craig. Craig was making guest appearances too. We invited people we knew, because we knew a lot of black people. And when we went, it probably was one black family there. Keisha helped start the gospel choir at neighborhood church.
Right.
The one that Malcolm, remember Malcolm?
Yeah.
He had one at Chico State. Keisha took the pastor's wife to that gospel concert. She said, Keisha, can we start one of those here? They started singing black gospel music because of Keisha. She introduced them to it.
Right.
They knew it was soulful, and they wanted to have a service with some soulful music. So that's so we understood it was God still leading us. But then when it was time to go, God told us too, it was time to go. Start this Bible teaching church.
Right now, so I'm gonna stop you right now. So right now we're up to a point to where you're going to neighborhood church, you're getting fed, you're spreading the word, you're doing what you feel like God kind of led you to do.
I'm having good fellowship in neighborhood church.
You're having good fellowship.
I remember I'm still feeding off of Fred Price. Now God's introducing me to Bill Winston, Creflo Dollar. I'm getting meat from them. I'm getting milk over here. The Bible says milk is for babies. Meat is for full grown. So I'm getting meat from all of these other ministries, but I'm getting milk over here.
Right.
Now, so God said, I want a church that's going to serve meat. And I said, God, send one there to Chico that's going to serve meat. Me and Keisha will be a part of it. I asked God that. Guess what? He said, I am. It's going to be you. So that's what we serve over here. Meat, baby. We got the beef. We got the beef.
Look, so give me this, OG. So again, you had to step out on faith to leave something that was working for you for 9 years to start your own church.
Well, I did it
because you started your own church.
Well, no. I did it because God told us to. He said, and it was confirmed, not just to us. First, Keisha told me, Vince, I believe God's called me to the ministry. I knew it because he had been telling me, but I was doing one of these numbers. I wasn't trying to
That's how you was. Yeah, that's how you was when you was in that. Yeah.
Because I was trying to be, remember I had built the studio? I was V Diddy.
Yeah.
I was V Diddy. Hey, look how that would
we got 2 more sessions. We got 2 more sessions if we go on all that. Look, we got to tell her. Yeah, look, we got to tell her. Look, and then in between all of that, I don't even want to throw other stuff in there because we'll wind up going off on something else or going on something else. Let's just stay right here. So did God talk to you to start your own church? Like, was it hard?
He told us to start a ministry. He told Keisha first that he's calling me to ministry. I already knew when she told me. We was in the big house on Garden Brook.
Right.
The mansion, the 530 mansion, in the kitchen. I remember Keisha telling me, and I responded, I know, I've just been running. I've been running for the call because it's not what I wanted to do. It's not what I wanted to do. You know that. It's not what I wanted to do. And even though I had to left the game, I was done with the game. By the time we was out there, I was done. I said, I'll never give them the satisfaction the task force are coming out here. Can you see the headlines now, brother? Can you see the headlines? But I had, and God was dealing with me, because as soon as we moved out there, I probably did it for a year. And after that, I was out the game. We lived there for 5 years. I did it for the
Good.
first year, and God really started speaking to me about purpose and about who is my source, my financial source. He started speaking to me
Right.
about that, just as he kept speaking to me. So that gave me enough faith to let that go. Because
Because you
remember,
led on faith. I
the
mean,
first
Vince, you
time, the
led on
first time,
faith a
I
lot.
didn't have enough. The first time when I got out, remember with the Blue Shield, I didn't have
Yeah.
enough faith to let it go. But now, that's 99. Now it's 2005.
So how long have you been, like currently right now, how long have you had your own independent church? How many years has it been?
2009. That's when we
Whoa.
started. We left neighborhood church in 2009. Yeah, that's when.
Whoa.
And it was sweatless. We didn't have to go look for no building. We prayed and asked them. One day I'm driving by, I heard a voice, that same voice. Here's your building. We own it. I'm here. We own it. I didn't have, but see, that's why I'm saying God really does. He keeps talking about today. He really does order your steps, but you got to be sensitive to what he's saying and what he's doing. You just got to follow suit. Okay, God, you're telling me to do this. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm getting more and more sensitive to what he's telling me to do, and that's the name of the game. Being
Right.
God, remember Jesus said it. Father, not my will, but your will be done. Not my will, your will. So when you're letting God's will be done, he said, okay, you basically say you take the steering wheel.
Right.
I'm
Now
going
let
for
me
the
ask
ride.
you this. So you've been a pastor for how long now? How many years have you said you've been a pastor?
I'm gonna call myself teacher because that's what we do. Just like my Fred Price teacher. He's pastor teacher. Creflo
How
Dollar
long you been a teacher?
since 2009.
Okay,
But
now let me ask.
I'm gonna say this though. Previous to that, I was still doing it, but professionally, 2009. But I was just
Now let
doing
me
it.
ask. Now let me ask you some questions. I'm gonna ask you some questions that people want to know. This is the questions people ask me. I said, what would you ask a preacher if you could ask a preacher? What would you ask him? One of the first questions somebody asked me to say, ask him, does he still listen to secular music? Do he still listen to R. Kelly?
Baby. Yeah, I do. I still like R. Kelly. R. Kelly's gonna be held accountable for what R. Kelly did. R. Kelly that's the thing about God. We was reading the scriptures today. You say he's abundantly merciful. He has abundant mercy. He'll forgive anybody of anything. Now, and I'm gonna have to forgive R. Kelly if he did that to me. I don't hold nothing against him. Like Pac said, only God can judge me. So I still listen
All
to
right.
God. I don't probably listen to most of the stuff today because I don't think it's when it should be.
Right.
Crazy.
Okay, now I got some more questions before we go. So what do you feel about, and I know in the Bible, in the Old Testament, a lot of those cats had multiple wives. How do you feel about multiple wives?
I wish we could do that today.
All right, we go.
I wish we could do that today. But
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you had 3 Keishas?
Right, that's what I'm saying. That part right there. That part.
Could you imagine? And when they broke in my house, if it was 4 Keishas?
Well, we just read about Solomon the other day.
Yeah, Solomon had many wives.
He had 700. He had 700, Robert, and about 300 concubines. That was chicks on the side that he didn't marry. He married the 700. He had about
and
another
he still had some on the side?
Yeah, 300 concubines. Who had a rack of women, a G, 1,000.
Now, what about this? And these are the kind of questions.
The Bible said that's what made him fall off.
Now,
He's the one that said it was all vanity. It's all vanity.
Now, my next question is current events. The young brother died by the hand of another brother in Orville. What was it? Last week or the week before last?
New Year's Day.
So being a pastor, what do you say? What do you say to people? Like, how do you,
you know what?
provide some,
Because this is what I know now. Well, the Bible says the Holy Scriptures are able to make one wise. So wisdom is the principal thing. Wisdom is powerful. So the Bible teaches us that the devil, a lot of people won't even acknowledge that he exists. You always have 2 influences. 3, I'm going to say 3. Yourself, me, myself, and I have the Holy Scriptures, aka God, or the devil. Those 3 influences. So I get to make the decision. I'm the final. The buck stops with what I will to do. Will I will to do what God want me to do? Will I will to do what the devil influences me to do? Influences me, or will I do my own will? So a lot of people are being influenced by the devil, like kill somebody. God didn't tell you to do that. Your emotions, your jealousy, or whatever it was,
right?
The devil reinforcing that. Do this. Go ahead and take him out. Not telling you what the end gonna look like. Now you on the run, and you're gonna get
Right.
caught eventually.
Right.
Now your life over as a free person. So and still right now the devil still try to influence me to do stuff. That's what he does.
Right.
He
Right.
comes to steal, kill, and
So
destroy.
you are still human, you know. Just
Yeah,
because you a
well,
pastor, that don't mean you know
no,
everything, right?
that don't mean you're not having him to believe. That was the devil. How are you
Right.
going? You didn't do that with your kids. You from
Right.
the hood, but
Right.
so God's still influencing your will.
Right.
So you want to keep
Right.
it. And I was able to do that, and I was deep in the game. None of my
Now
kids. Right.
this is relating to what we're talking about. So I've been a therapist probably almost 30 years now in some capacity. And so one of the questions that I ask young men, white, black, orange, purple, over the years, and I always get some passion about it, or I always revisit is, and I say to especially young men, I say, so what kind of man do you want to be? Like, is this is who you want to be? Well, I want this is who you want to be. And so, and I say to you, sometimes I just want a house that I ain't got to move from all the time. My mom was always moving. Or I just want a nice car and I want to be able to get me some new Jordans. And I go, so is that the kind of man you want to be? That's just what you want.
Right. That's
And
just what you
so,
want.
I'm giving you these different little gems because I want to ask you the Vince in Chicago as compared to the Vince today. Do you feel like you the man that you wanted to be? Like, do you
You know
feel
what? I'm gonna say even back then, growing up, you can be influenced by your environment. You can be influenced by your home. And then I believe that there's something that God puts in all of us because he said he knew us before we was formed in our mother's womb. I think he puts good in all of us and us to imagine good things. And not only that, like all those people you asked, he puts desires in us. Like you say, all those people I
right?
want. Yeah, it's okay to want something, but that wasn't the question you asked. You asked them what kind of man you want to be, not what type of stuff you want to have, what kind of person. So I want to be, and I believe I always wanted to be a person of integrity, a kind person, somebody that respects all people groups. I don't care what color you are. And I believe I'm still being transformed into that person. Because there's some things about me, and I don't care if God did call you to the ministry. You still he calls you perfected. He said he'll perfect those things that concern you, but you still got some things that need to be made, corrections that need to be made.
Right.
We all do. So I don't ever put myself on no pedestal. I probably think that's one of the reasons God is usually to let people know, no, we're not perfect. Jesus is perfect. Yeah, if you read somewhere in the Bible, I had to tell people during that season, there's places in the Bible where God said tear his head off, whoop him good. See, and if you don't study the Bible, you don't know that. You think God just, be a goody goody. No, God said, go in there and take all of them out. They evil. Cleanse them.
Give me some scriptures on that. Quote, give me some scripture.
No. Well, let me take you back to Joshua. When they marched around the wall, they came tearing down. The wall fell down. The people on the other side of that wall, what you think they did when their walls came falling out? Start running?
Right.
It was on. It was on. And there's the scripture in the Bible, thank you, Holy Spirit. He said David said this, the same one that bust up Goliath. He said, he teaches my fingers to fight and my hands to war. He said, God teaches my fingers to fight and my hands to war. He the one bust up Goliath. Goliath was punking God's people. One big dude, punking the whole army. Debo. Remember Debo was punking the whole block? And God told little David, a teenager, I'm sending you out to battle. Bust them up. All I'm gonna give you is a slingshot. That slingshot you carry in your back pocket, and there's some rocks. Pick up those rocks. You like that and aim them at that fool. My power gonna be behind it. He let it rip and bust that fool right in the head. And David told him, David said, this day, first of all, he said, you gotta announce the victory before you get it. He said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Circumcised means you're not in covenant with God. Who comes against the armies of God. He said, who F you think you are? He said, this day, I'm going to have your head. I'm going to defeat you. And then I'm going to take your own sword and I'm going to cut your own head off and I'm going to feed it to the buzzards.
So look, tell me this, Pastor. Being a pastor, do you feel like you get more passes? You're more.
No. I'm going to say being a child of God, you don't get no more passes. Now you got the favor of God surrounding you, but the devil hates you. If you declare that you're a child of God, The devil hates you. It's in John 10:10. He hates you. And he gonna use again, he gonna influence people to do his will. God is
Right.
gonna desires to influence people to do his will. Here's another hot verse right here. What you eat don't make me shit.
Right.
I got
Right.
it for you. I still listen to second. It's in me. I grew up in the hood. Who said that?
Right.
What you eat don't make me shit.
Now
Somebody
let me ask you this, Pastor. Because of you telling our audience your story from the beginning to the chapters now, what kind of people come to your church? Is it diverse? Is it
well, we're multi-cultural, generational. We're just multi, and that's what I was thinking about that today. What the Bible said. The Bible said it's the sick who need a physician, and all of us are sin sick because of Adam and Eve, the first people. So everybody needs some truth. And me and Keisha was studying this morning. We do every morning. We call it our morning devotion. We were studying where God's will is found in His Word. We were studying the book of Numbers, chapter 13 and 14, where God took will was to take his people from being in bondage or slavery to a land that flowed with milk and
yeah,
honey. That's the good life. That's still God's will. Scripture said he's
right,
the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So I teach people that. And there was a group of people in that same text, they was talking down on that. A lot of people talk down on the goodness of God and try to despise him and belittle him. I tell them that ain't happening here. Because I
right,
know I need a lot to be a blessing to others. I know
right,
I desire the finer things. If you study Solomon, the Bible says he asked God for wisdom, the best thing, and God said, because you asked me for wisdom, I'm going to give you honor and riches.
right.
God's
So I'm
will.
gonna
God's
leave you.
will is to
Look,
be
so I'm
blessed.
gonna leave. Look, Caddy just came back, but this is my last. This is gonna be my last. So this is what I got from our whole conversation. You came from Chicago.
Okay. With
Went to
nothing.
Compton.
No, you will know. You came from Chicago. Magic Dom won. The parades.
Ready to Pennsylvania.
You gotta. You something told you to go to L.A. after that little stuff happened.
Call my mama.
Called
Tell
your.
her
So
out of
you
here.
went to L.A. Compton was a beautiful experience. Your boy helped you kind of broaden your horizons. You saw bigger things than what it was.
First beach party. First beach party. Thrown by the
First beach
Crips.
party. Yeah, yeah.
Hosted by the Crips. Hosted by the Crips. Played it.
But
Okay.
at the same time,
Okay. We are. Play Del Rey. What's that?
Playa del Rey. Yeah, yeah. That's nice. All that's nice over there.
What is Play Del Rey?
I mean, that's a nicer area. There ain't no gangs over there.
It's a beach in LA. It's a portion of a
Yeah,
beach.
yeah. It's a beach. Yeah, in Playa del Rey.
I
Yeah.
think where the black people was allowed to congregate. Play Del Rey.
Right, right.
So that's what he took me to. Play Del Rey. These fools, they had a component set out there on the sand, and I'm new to all of this. I'm like, what's
Right.
power
You ain't
that
been
for?
exposed. Yeah,
I
Chicago
could have been
fools ain't
power there.
doing
I
that.
looked over
Yeah.
and these fools had a generator over in the corner
Yep,
with a
yep,
house
yep.
stereo out there. So I got
And it
exposed.
wasn't, and the culture wasn't so aggressive yet. And we
No,
didn't.
it
You
wasn't.
you got to remember too. In Southern California, the redlining was real big. So blacks lived in. So if you don't know about redlining is the blacks lived in a certain area, the whites lived in a certain area, and you literally could be across the streets from where the whites was, and you just didn't go over there. And if you
And that's
did,
how
the
Play Del
cops
Rey.
would stop. Yeah, and the cops would stop you, and the cops would they would kind of usher you out, and that was just what it was up until probably the late '90s or something. Like it was very segregated. It was a lot, Vince. I enjoyed it. And we really didn't even get deep. We kind of kept a lot out. I got to take out some of the stuff, because I want everybody to.
When I'm standing in the window, like, welcome.
No, that's cool. I'm gonna leave that in there. But I'm saying some of the, because like I
The
said,
names and things.
like I said, I appreciate it. What day is your church? And you welcome in all.
We have 2 services, man. I'm not one of those all day, all night, all week church
Okay.
yet. I encourage people to study at your own time, at your own house. Get the Bible, start in the New Testament, study before you even open up and start reading. Ask God. You can come and ask God to give you what's called understanding. You'll open
Now,
it up.
what day is is this Sunday, right? What's the
Sunday,
times?
11 o'clock, Wednesday, 6:30, Bible study. That's the only services we have.
And what's the location? What's the location?
74 East 12th Street, Chico, California. Interesting enough, the hood I used to sell drugs in and all that, We back there again. That's the funny part of God. He put me right back here again where I was balling at.
What y'all think, y'all? What y'all think? Part 3, we done. Pastor Vince Haney. What you think?
Was that a wild ride? Did it make you go
What
through
y'all
some
think?
things?
What y'all think, y'all? What y'all think? V Love. What you think?
Has your parishioners gone up? You got more people in your flock? Any of y'all gonna go see?
Should I tag Magic Don Juan in there? Is it worthy, y'all? Is it worthy? Hit me up in the comments. From low riders to all that to church, y'all. Shout out V Love.
Prince Vince,
Yeah.
aka. We're gonna have him on again.
Oh yeah. V crazy. But you know what? We need those kind of parishioners of this whole thing called Christianity. I mean, they said Jesus walked amongst the regular people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be blasphemy and say he hung out with thugs, but
I mean, he was brown, so he had to.
man, I ain't trying to get a shutdown. Watch it, Building 341. We out, y'all. Peace, love.